Okay. So, correct. This is in standard form. So, we're going to put that one right here. Okay. Okay, now, this should say factored form, not intercept. Okay. So, I need to get this in all of the other forms now. Do you guys want me to go through it, or do you think you'll remember? Should I go through one? Okay, so first let's go to factored form, okay? So on factored form, I'm going to set up my box with my puzzle, okay? So I'm going to take my, I'm just going to do the work over here. I'm going to take my box and set up my puzzle. I always add to the middle number and multiply to the last number. All right. Okay, raise your hand once you get the puzzle. Anybody figure out the puzzle? Yeah, Kasten.
-2, -1.
Nope, good guess.
Or wait. No, it is.
It's -1 and 3.
There we go, -1 and 3. I think you might have mixed up what you add to and what you multiply to, Kasten. -1 and 3. Then I'm going to take my GCF out of each row and column, and these are my factors. So my factored form, y equals x minus 1 times x plus 3. Now I need vertex. Should I go through one of those? Or you guys think you can do it? Go through one? Okay. So vertex is the extra box. So I'm going to start by putting in my x squared, and then I go back to my standard form, and I take the middle number, and I cut that middle number in half. So 2 divided by 2 is 1x. So that's how I get my x plus 1 on the outside. Then I'm going to do 1 times 1, which is 1. And then my extra box is I got to decide, how do I get from 1 to -3? You got it. -4. Okay, so for my vertex form, my x plus 1 factor happens twice. So that's my part that's squared. And then my -4 is my extra box. That's my piece I add on the end. Good? Okay. Now get your calculators out. All right? If you don't have a graphing calculator today, then just follow along as best you can, and I'll show you how to do this without a graphing calculator later, okay? So what I want you to do in the top left corner of your calculator.
Can we just download that then?
Heck no. Yeah, you can't use phones and tablets on your tests and things. On the ACT, if you ever take that, if you decide you want to go to college, things like that, you can't use things like that. So that's why you want to be able to use a real calculator, okay? So it looks mostly like this unless you have a Casio. It's going to look a little different, but most of the buttons are the same. Most of the buttons are the same, okay? So if you're on a Casio, okay, if you have a Casio, press menu and press enter on the graph mode. Everyone else, you're going to press y equals. It's here in the top left corner. Okay, so it's going to look something like this. Okay. Okay. Now, first thing that I want you guys to do is you're going to type in each of those 3 equations, all right? Now, the button you're going to use for x, does everyone see a button that looks like this? The x, comma, t, comma, theta, comma, n? Do you guys all see that?
No.
On the Casios, it's like the third one down in the far left column. On the 84s and 83s, it's right where mine is that's on the screen. Right there. Do you see it? Okay. That is the one you use for x. So what I want you to do is I want you to, I wonder if I can split screen this. Anybody have an iPad and know if I can do that? Ugh. Okay, fine. Okay, so I'm going to type all three of these equations in from my notes. Okay, so using that as your X button. Make sure you use the minus, not the negative. Okay? And then you go press enter. You can see the parentheses buttons above your 8 and 9. Do X, what was it, -1, I think? And X plus 3. Ooh, don't do that. X plus 3.
I took my battery out and I went to the phone. I took it out and I put it back in.
Did you put it back in the right way? Will you double check and then I'll come look? Okay. So once you're at this point, right here, okay, just pause. Okay, for anyone watching online, there's going to be a lot of pauses in this video because I need to walk around and help calculator issues. So just feel free to use your fast forward button a lot. Okay? All right, let me come around and make sure everybody's where we're at right now.
Put one.
Huh?
It should be -4 and -4.
Did I mix it up?
You put -1, it says -4 on the very last one.
I put, oh, it's -4. It's just really hard. What? Wait for it. Can you guys, no? How do I? Anywhere. Ah! There we go. Okay. I'm gonna walk around and help calculator issues. Yeah, looks good. Good.
I'm gonna forget this
You're prepping, so just follow along as best you can. Got yours? Okay, so just follow along as best you can today.
Oh, I might have some batteries you can borrow actually. Cause I have like 2 of these calculators. I'm trying to press. I have like 100 of these. I was like this, going through the walls I have in my mom's house. I think I'm finding out. Yeah. I don't think that's much money or something. Here's one. I was like,
Bring me it back. Okay, got it all in. You guys are good. Yeah. Squared.
oh.
Ah, I messed up. Clear. So then I would do 2, right? And then you gotta press down so that you can get out of the, or sorry, right, and then it'll get out of the X point. Okay, and then you can type the rest in. Plus 2x minus 3. Yeah. I have a graphing one. Oh, I do because Zaxxon.
Yes.
Yeah, well, it's Zaxxon for, oh.
These ones don't work.
They don't?
No.
Okay, just throw them away.
Above it. Throw the calculator away.
All right, we good? Are you figuring yours out? Okay, now, here's the next step, okay, is you're gonna press window. Now, if you've got a Casio, okay, then you go to V window. So you'll have to press like the shift button and then go into V window. Everyone else just presses window. It's right above, or sorry, right next to the Y equals button. You see it right here? Okay, now, this is like our standard go-to window, okay? So you want to make your X min. Now, most of your calculators, it might already be that way. So X min -10, X max 10, Y min -10, Y max 10. Okay, don't worry about any of the other stuff. Just make sure that the mins and maxes,
Mine are wrong.
okay, then change them. So you just type right over it and press enter. And don't use subtract, use the negative, Okay?
Put it in the store.
What the heck? Maybe your calculator's just dead. Yeah, you rented this one from me, didn't you? I know these batteries work because
They were brand new.
yeah, I just opened them out of the package. Okay, I'm just gonna switch your calculator out. Take the batteries out of that, and I can just switch out your calculator.
She did something.
But didn't you say it worked earlier?
Mm-mm.
Oh, it hasn't worked. You haven't turned it on
I
at all
haven't
yet.
turned it on yet. I
Okay.
never Tuesday for that.
Okay, I just have to write.
Probably should have checked that out first.
9006-304. Well, these ones may. Oh, these batteries work. So I'll just take those back. There you go. And then bring me the lid for this
I already did. Oh, never mind.
V window. Oh, so you have to press enter. Sorry. Okay, so here. Wait a minute. Where's delete? You gotta delete that XT thing that you pushed. Yeah. And then press enter. Now press it. Shift V window. There you go. Yep. Okay. So this calculator is dead. Okay. We're having issues?
I'm having an issue.
How do I get onto these?
Holy Okay, get this.
I have some
Here, I'm gonna delete all these. All these random ones. Oh, that's probably your plug that. That's all the random ones in there. Actually, you're gonna have to go delete all
Why
the
is there
random
so
ones.
many?
Yeah, it's just what's probably thrown in your backpack without a lid.
Well, I take it out the batteries multiple times, so I think.
And then I had to delete your last one because you had accidentally typed something into it, so just. All right, you're good? Okay. All right, good. Can we move on to the next piece? Okay.
Wait, please have a 20 instead of.
Well, then type it over.
Okay.
Type 10.
But how do I know?
10. And then press enter.
I think this was wrong too.
Yeah, but you have to press enter on each one. Okay, then go up and do -10. And then enter, and then go down. This is always your go-to window, so you just always make sure it's like this. Then 10. Enter. There you go. Okay, so now press graph. Now you press graph. So it should look something like that, right? Now, here's my question. I thought we typed in 3 things. Why do I only see one graph?
It puts it together.
Puts it together? What do you mean, Zaxton?
They're all the same.
They're all the same, they're just a different form, right? So I don't need to type in all 3 ever again, right? Now that we realize, oh wait, it should have just given me one graph, right? It's actually a really good way to check your answers if your forms are right. Because if you type in 3 equations and you don't get one graph, you get 2 or 3 graphs, then you know you've done something wrong, right? Because they should all be the same graph. Make sense?
Almost a little pattern.
Okay, yeah, well, yeah, my graph's a little wider, but it's about the same. Okay, here, I can show you on, yours probably looks more like this, right? Okay, what kind of an error does it say?
So it goes to the graph, and then it says there's like 5 seconds on those errors.
But what is it, like invalid dimensions, syntax, what kind of an error?
Maybe like 2 seconds.
Okay,
Can you go help me?
yes?
Typed in everything. Same I did with this.
You press enter so that those are all like set in there. Then you do the V window.
I did 5 of them.
And then I type in negative, and you shouldn't have to do this V window thing probably ever again. But you see, I'm typing right over -10 and then pressing enter after each one. Does that make sense? Okay, then you're gonna go to Okay, Casio's to graph. Once you change your window, Evan, did you already figure out how to get your graph?
Yeah, you know how to get the graph, but
Okay.
the numbers again.
That's, okay, so then you're gonna go shift, and then you see sketch right there, so shift, sketch. What? Dang it. Okay, that's not how you do it. Okay, once you get that changed, press exit, and then you see the draw. Okay, draw. Okay,
Yeah, I'm gonna forget.
that's okay, we're gonna do a bunch of them today, so it's fine.
This is teacher.
-10 to 10. Syntax, so that usually means that you typed in, no, the way you typed it in looks good. Oh, you just had some random equation down there. That was just probably from it being thrown into your backpack. And it didn't know how to graph it, so that's why.
I can't see this.
So it should work now. There you go. Okay. All right, so now, again, you should only see one graph, all right? And it should be similar to this. We're good? Okay. So now, if you have a calculator, all right, then we're going to start plotting some points on this, okay? So what I want you to do is I want you to press second and then trace. Casio people, you'll do shift trace, okay? Everyone else does second trace, okay? Now, Casio people, when you press shift trace, just stop for a second. You don't have this third button to press, okay? Everyone else, now we want that first one. So you're gonna press shift, second trace, and then 1, which means I'm gonna do the value. Okay, so now do you see in the bottom left corner, I have the x equals right there? That's what you should have too. In the bottom left corner, an x equals. Okay, I'll show you on this in-person one. It looks something like that, right? Everybody good? Okay? No? Okay.
No, I'm
Okay. So what I want you guys to do is I want you to fill in this table. So -4. Okay, so I want you to fill in this table. Okay, so here's how you're going to do it. We're going to type in -4. -4 and press enter. And then you should see at the bottom -4 and then it should say y equals 5, right? Okay, so then we're going to put that here. Then you go back and you do it again. Second, trace, 1, and then we'll type in -3.
Wait, so how do you do the -4?
So then 0, okay? So you're going to go through and follow that on your calculator, the second trace thing, until you get this table filled in.
How do I delete the -4?
You shouldn't have to delete the -4. Yeah, you just type in -4 and then press enter, and then the 5 should pop up. Okay, we're going to